Hey y'all, it's Jessie with the Two Sticks and String podcast. So glad to have you here today. Hi to all of my new viewers and welcome back to returning viewers. We are a podcast that's all about the fibery goodness. So knitting, crochet, cross stitching, latch hooking. If you like something fiber related, I do too. So you're welcome and you're right in the right spot. Welcome to the crazy. I am an Army wife and I am currently stationed in Bavaria, Germany with my husband. We have another year here and we absolutely love living here. It's so much fun and we get to explore all the time, which I am extremely grateful for. It makes my little girl from Kansas heart happy, which I say from Kansas loosely because military kid moved around a lot. Just happened to live in Kansas the longest. So let's get down to the fibery goodness and admin-y things so we can have fun, okay? All right. So admin thing number 1. If you have not watched the episode Springtime with Alex and Jessie yet, go watch it. It announces my winners for the Thank You for Being a Friend Cal. And one person still has not gotten in contact with me about their prize, so I want to make sure that they get it. So go watch and make sure it's not you that's missing out on an awesome prize. I believe it's a pattern prize. So if you want a free pattern, go take a look. Watch so you can claim it. I want you guys to reap the rewards of your labor. So we have that covered. Also, subscribe to Alex. She is the Hound Strings podcast. And she is doing things on her podcast that I don't see other podcasts do. She incorporates music and talk about animals. And it's absolutely wonderful. And I've never seen any other podcast do something like that. And she should definitely have more subscribers than she has. So go show her some love, you guys. Okay? Good. All right. We currently have a Cal going on. And it is the YooHoo Big Stash Blowout. Count. Well, it's make it long. If you can make it, you can count it. Pretty much this make along runs from May 1st of this year until May 1st of next year. And all I want you to do, make some goals and actually make them happen. Strive towards reaching them. And so I made some big goals for myself. I want to knit 10,000 yards of yarn before the end of summer. So that's a lot of knitting in my future, you guys. And I also want to knit 10 objects that are not socks and complete them before the end of summer too. And so you can do, as long as you have a goal, I don't care how long your goal is. It can be a daily goal, weekly goal, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, yearly. I don't care. I just want you to have a goal and strive to reach it. And I am a person, if you don't make it, that is okay because I have a big goal. If I don't make it, that's all right. I'm still going to do more trying to reach it than if I had made a smaller goal for myself, you know? So there is no, you have to actually complete it, your goal, in order to win prizes. Speaking of prizes, though, this is not a typical make along where you get like a nice project bag and yarn or something small with it, because the whole point of this make along is to reduce your stash. And I feel that giving yarn as a prize does not help with your stash reduction. It just increases it. So there will be other prizes instead. There will be giveaways of ebooks, more pattern prizes. There will be project bags given, notion bags, progress keepers, just little notions like maybe you'll get a swatch ruler or maybe one of those nice leather ruler bracelets that I showed off in a Christmas episode. I don't know. I have to figure it out. Maybe you'll get some pom-poms or some buttons. Something that is not yarn. Okay? All right. And you enter that on our Ravelry group. So if you want to join the Ravelry group, you totally should because it's a requirement in order to win prizes. The Ravelry group is the Two Sticks and String podcast. If you are looking for it on Ravelry, you will know you have found us because Petrillo, the owl, is my logo and he is the badge for the group. So you'll have seen him at the beginning of the episode and he hoots at you to say hello, hello. Whew, I'm a little crazy today. I have not had enough caffeine. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't look like it, I'm sure. because harebrained Jessie is everywhere today. But no caffeine yet. Anyways, if you are looking to get in contact with me, I am Army Wife Knitting Life on Instagram and Army Wife Knit Life on Ravelry. The fastest way to get a hold of me is on Instagram, though, just because I see that right away. And I do check Ravelry at least once a day, but not always as often. And so Instagram, I should get back to you within an hour at the most, unless it's sleeping time for me and awake time for you. Okay? All right. Some of my friends' cows that are going on that I want you guys to be aware of is we have the Creature Feature, which is hosted by A Crocheting Hoovian and Deborah of A Physicist Farm Gal. They are doing farm animals for this quarter. Go participate. It's amigurumi. They're so cute. I love following the boards, even if I'm not participating, because I can't make amigurumi to save my life. But I enjoy looking at them. I think they're cute and adorable. I wish I could do it, but I can't. That's going on. The multiple myeloma cow is going on in the Vanilla Sock Pig podcast. So knit something with red or burgundy as the main color and enter it in there. We have the Autism Awareness Cow, which is co-hosted by A Crocheting Hoovian and Vanilla Pig podcast, and Rainbow Colors or Sparkles. There is the Knick Knack Knits, Sock It To Me, and Scrappy's Sundays. There is Melissa's Color Cow, which is Honeybee Knits, and I believe the color of the month is blue. So if you have blue in your project, enter it in there. Awesome prizes. She also typically does a sock thread for each month too. There's also Deborah, Diary of a Physicist Farm Gals. That's a lot. Diary of a Physicist Farm Gals, Farmer's Almanac Cal. I love participating in it every month. I always learn something new, and I think it's interesting, and you guys should totally check it out. She just opened up the thread for May, and I am definitely going to be knitting something fun. I don't know what yet, but my chosen theme is she lists out a bunch of different holidays, important people that are born or died in the month, and B. Arthur is mentioned for this May. So I'm going to do some Golden Girls yarn in a project. I don't know what project yet, but I'm going to use Golden Pearls yarn. Because why not? I love their yarn. All right. That's just a few of the cows going on. Go check out these groups, you guys. They are so fun, and they have so many cows going on that I haven't even mentioned. So go look at them. Go participate. Have fun. And I always think that knitting is more fun when you're doing it in a group. It keeps you motivated, and it gives you some socialization, and it's just fun. So go check it out, you guys, okay? All right. This is going to be a shorter episode, so we're going to go right ahead into finished objects. We have the Alice in Wonderland socks, which is Moose and New Yarns. She's from Kansas, and so it's like knitting with a little piece of home every time I pick up these socks. And I have a few more skeins from her that are just waiting to be used. The sock blockers are from Knit Picks. This is the size large. I like the plastic ones because, well, I like plastic and woods. As long as they have holes in the middle for air drying, that's fine. I don't wet block socks, but I like the air to go through them. It freshens them up a little nicely when they're outside. So as always, it's a vanilla sock. I do 27 stitches on each needle. I do magic loop toe up with a fish lips kiss heel. And my cuffs don't have a set recipe. I normally will go for a full color repeat in the cuff, or just depending on how many colors there are. As long as it ends up with me being at the same color starting place for my toes. That's all that matters. So I know I wish I could be more specific, but that's as good as I can get, y'all. So that's pair one. Those are for my mother. Pair two. This is the Herbst für alles, or Fall for All socks, which is a red Regia seasonal color. And these are also for my mother. I thought they were nice and autumnal, and they were a fun knit for me. And these are on my Alex Workshop Design Heart sock blockers. I'm going through these fast because, I show y'all socks every week. Nothing really changes other than the colors. All of the remaining socks are for my Aunt Tracy. These are a Regia 6-fadig, so 6-ply rainbow color, and they're on my owl sock blockers. When I do 6-ply, since the yarn is a little thicker, it's like a sport weight sock. I typically go 24 stitches on each needle, and I do a 2x2 rib instead of a 3x3 rib for these. So this was pair, 10 that I completed for my aunt. We have these, which is the hibiscus socks. It's a Knit Picks Felici hibiscus with a dandelion for the heels, toes, and cuffs. And these are shorter and on the medium size Knit Picks sock blockers. You saw one of these completed 2 episodes ago, but I finally finished the other. And then it's May, you guys, and so that means Desert Vista Dye Works socks. I got them done for the month. This is Barrio de Carmen, and I call them the Carnaval del Barrio socks because I love the musical In the Heights, and it deals with a lot of Spanish, and this is Barrio, so Carnaval de Barrio. And this is on her Zein sock base. And what I love most about these is that this is the 12th pair of socks. So her box of socks for Christmas is officially completed. Hooray! Because I made the rule that until both sock boxes are completed, I can only knit 1 pair of socks for me a month. So this is going to make it a little easier for me to complete that goal. To be fair, though, I really don't need to be knitting socks for myself. I have so many other Christmas things going on for presents, and they already know about them, so I'm going to talk to you about them in a minute. But I have a lot of knitting to do, you guys. The last finished object that I have is the Night Shift, which is absolutely gorgeous. And this is all Honeybee Knits yarn. This is a sample that I knit for her. I'm going to go over the colors here. And Melissa, you're lucky I love you. I weaved in all the ends, and I never weave in ends. But I did it for you because you're special. I held this, all the yarn is held double. It is her tweed base, which is a 438 yards to 100 grams. It's fingering weight, and it's a dream to work with. It blocks beautifully. It has some great drape. But colors, so you can knit this for yourself because the pattern is Night Shift by Andrea Mowry. It's a worsted weight pattern, but held a double fingering weight, so worked out. We have the pink is Smashed Mulberry. The gold is Panning for Gold. The green is Mint Leaves. The blue is In the Navy. And the purple is Your Highness. And then the gray is Flagstone. So that's all the colors that are in here. I have about half a skein, more or less, of each left over. And it's pretty awesome. The thing you need to know about this shawl is that all the colors will be touching themselves eventually, or touching their neighbors, which is why you have this bright, colorful section down here. And the thing that scared me the most about this shawl was the bind off, because it was 2-color I-cord bind off, but I did it. Yay! And I think I did a pretty decent job at it. So I learned a new technique thanks to Melissa. Yay! I love it. It's so hard to give this away, but it's for a good cause, so I will be all right with it. I'm going to make one for myself eventually, but not now because Christmas presents take precedence at this point. So we're going to take a pause here because my computer is still doing weird issues with stopping, recording, and freezing. So I don't want that to happen. So I will see y'all in a second. And we are back. I know it's been forever. Okay. We are going to go over some stash enhancement and some whips really quickly. So this is a first for my podcast, I think, this year, y'all. I don't have any new yarn to show. I'll wait for you guys to have your hearts come back and catch your breath, because I know this is a big deal. We good? Okay. No yarn, but I do have progress keepers. Well, I can't hear that, I know, but I can. It sounds like dice. These are all from Simply Serving HK, because I have a slight problem of buying progress keepers from her. They're all so cute. I mean, I want to have them all. So the first one we have is this glow-in-the-dark haunted house. The ghost will glow in the dark. And I was determined to get this because I really don't have a lot of Halloween type progress keepers. And I love Halloween for the creativity and the cutesy things. I'm not a spooky person. I cannot do a horror movie or bloodiness or gore at all. But I love a cute project keeper and cute decorations. And I love dressing up. The next one I got, I have hiccups, sorry. This is adorable little dim sum dumpling. How cute is he? Love him. And he even has a little steam pinch up top for releasing heat and where you close him up. I love him. She also has these in little cats and bears. And I just love the classic dim sum dumpling though, so I just went with that one. We also have the kitty cat bumblebee. There we go. And since she has so many small progress keepers or seasonal ones, she is currently, if you place an order with her, you end up getting a free extra progress keeper as well. So I ended up with this little freebie, which is an iced animal cracker elephant with sprinkles. So cute. Okay, and now I have 3 more. Y'all are going to officially know how nerdy and geeky I am, and 90s nostalgia is just going to overwhelm you. We have Black Moon Cat, aka Luna from Sailor Moon. And all of these are macaroons. So she has a red filling and a black tail, of course. And she sparkles. She's glittery. As is White Moon Cat, Artemis. He has a blue macaroon filling and an adorable little white tail. And then we have Yellow Mouse. Pikachu! How cute. White filling. And that tail. Precious. Absolutely precious. And that's it for stash enhancement for right now. I have gone a little crazy ordering some cross-stitch things, but they're not in yet, so they're for a different episode. I have ordered some yarn. I participated in a vintage garden yarn club from Elm Tree Yarns, and she's based in the UK, and I am excited to see all those fun little things that come with it because my friend Angela helped create some of the goodies that are in the package, and so I had to support her and support her friend, and it's her first sock club, so I got it, and I'm excited to see what's in it. It should be arriving here in a few weeks. Yay! All right, so that's it for stash enhancement. I have 2 whips right now, just 2 that I've worked on. Let's be honest, that I've worked on, because I know you guys have been asking me about the cat paw print blanket and my boxy sweater and a few other things. Haven't touched them, but I'm going to. But right now, we'll go over this one at a time. The thing that got the most love while I was traveling is, and that's part of why I only have these few whips, is because I have been gone, and you want to pack something where you'll know how to do everything, and you know you're not going to get to a point on it where you need extra things or something. You want to make it easy as possible to pack knitting. And so I packed this Beachcomber shawl, which is a kit that I bought from Knit Picks 2 years ago. And it is from Kidder Gitter. It's for the Kidder Gitter Done Cal that Deborah is hosting in her podcast group. And you guys have never seen this before, so I have done some amazing work on this. Here's a tip. And it goes all the way up to here. Simple lace. The progress keeper is just there so I could see my daily progress when I was knitting on it. So I am actually in section 3 of this, and then there is one more lace mesh repeat, and it's going to be done. As I said, this is a Knit Picks kit that I ordered, and so it's all in Knit Picks yarn. It's knit in Kotlin, which is a DK weight, and it is a 70%. I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. I don't know what it is. I'm going to say Tangui cotton. It's TANGUIS, and it's 30% linen. And I know that cotton and linen get a rap for being rougher to work with, but this is actually not bad at all. It's a dream. I love knitting with it. It is a different texture and feel when you're wrapping it around your fingers, but it's not bad. It's not rough. It's not scratchy or anything. This is the Whisker colorway. The yellow is creme brulee, and the black is, well, it's not black, it's dark gray, it's ash. And this kit comes with 4 skeins of these 2 colors, and 3 skeins of this, which is way more than you need to actually complete the shawl, because I am still on the first ball of all of these colors, and I'm almost done with the shawl. So I might need a second ball of definitely a second ball of the yellow, and I might need a second ball of the other colors, but there's more than enough in that kit to make 2 of these. So I'm going to knit something fun with them. And these are being knit not on ChiaoGoo's, because my ChiaoGoo's that I needed for this size were being used on the night shift, and which was still on the needles at the time. So I had to dig out my Majestic interchangeables, which is a 4 square needle. So it's a square needle. It's kind of hard to see, but it is square in the Majestic wood needle colorway. These are from Knit Picks, and it's interchangeable, so it has a little purple cord on it. I know, it's crazy. I normally don't enjoy wood needles anymore, but I ordered these as my first nice interchangeable set, because I also have the Knit Pro Trends, which are the acrylic interchangeable needles. I bought them at Hobby Lobby years ago. They work all right. They're fine, but I don't like acrylic needles anymore. But they're there for if I need them. I use them more when I'm like going on a plane, on a long trip, because I don't have to worry about my ChiaoGoo's getting taken. But they are still typically a last resort. I would rather use wooden needles than use those. But they also work great when I'm trying to teach people how to knit, which is why I keep them around. So that is that project. It's being housed in the Bags by Awesome Granny bag, which is under my desk, it's in my desk, which is currently the drawer it's in is being covered by all of my projects and other podcasting things, so I can't show it to you, but it's her Forest Friends. So it's brown, and it's got a bunch of bright squirrels and things on it. The other project I've been working on, this is not going to look like a lot, but it is this. It is the start of a flax sweater in worsted weight for my dad. And it is in Lion Brand Pound of Love in Hunter Green. Yay! Because I'm knitting sweaters for my parents, my husband, and I when we are going to Scandinavia for Christmas this year. And that's everyone's Christmas presents from me. And Eric. Eric can't give himself a sweater for Christmas, but that's my Christmas present to him. And it's our Christmas gift to my parents, is I'm knitting these for us so that we're all warm. And I've also determined I'm making hats and scarves for everybody, going to try and make some mittens. I don't know if I'll get to there or not. But I also have the insane idea that I want to wear a hand knit sweater every day of this trip, which is like 6 to 7 days. And a fingering weight sweater is not going to keep me warm in Scandinavia in the winter. So these are all going to be DK weight and worsted weight sweaters. So I do have that going for me, that they will be fast knits. And I do have some already going. Like I already have my red sweater that I wore last episode. That's going to be like a last resort one though, because it's so big that I don't think it'll be helpful in keeping me warm, but it's there if needed. I also have 2 sweaters that are, well, I have one sweater that I just need to graft the underarms on. And then my sweater for the Christmas will be made. So that's 2 definites. I have the worsted boxy is 3. So I just need 4 more sweaters knit for me. It's probably not going to happen, but it's a good goal, right? It's a good goal. It'll push me. And then I also have, this is going to be cast on very shortly. It is going to be I'm test knitting for Skananigans again because I loved her magpie tendency. I am now test knitting the V-neck magpie for her. I have this gorgeous yarn. This is not a good skein to look at though because it's messy and not pretty. This one is though. And this is Drakenvola. You guys saw it. It was Stash Enhancement last episode. It's Drakenvola. And it's local. It does not have a colorway name as far as I can see. But I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's singles, so it's not my typical choice of yarn, but the color is so beautiful that I said I'm going to make it work. So I am casting that on because it needs to be done in a relatively quick fashion, but it is a fast knit sweater, so I'm not too worried about it, but I do want to get it done so I can relax and breathe because there are some big changes in the house for the next month or 2. So I want to just have more free time available and breathing space, as it were. So that's all of my immediate plans for you. But I wanted to show you, for in spirit of big YooHoo, big stash blowout, I pulled out all of my bulky weight yarn. It's all right here in this bag. It's a Merry Christmas from Nanu Nana, which is the weirdest store you will ever go into in Germany. I absolutely love going in there. They have some of everything. But this is all Brava bulky. I have it in like 20 bajillion colors because I figured I would need it all. The truth is that I ordered all of this when I had finally learned how to knit the feeder hat, because the feeder is all charted. There is no written instructions. And that pattern is by Gudrun Johnson, I believe. And I'd never knit from a chart before, so I was immensely proud of myself, and I was determined everybody was going to get feeder hats. It's not how it happened, but it is what it is. And so my goal is to knit through this bag for all of the hats and scarves for the family for Christmas time. And I think it'll be some great yardage. And see if you have, just as a tip for working through stash, bulky weight knits up pretty quickly. And it's not a lot of yardage per ball, but you know what? A little bit of yardage over each ball adds up quickly. So, do you have any bulky weight in your stash that you should get knitting on? Help you reduce your stash? Take a look. I did not think that I had this much, but I apparently do. So, go through your stash and see what's there. Sometimes it'll surprise you. Okay, that's my little spiel for YooHoo Big Stash Blowout, because I think I'm going to try and give you tips throughout the year of how to use your stash or see it in a new light. So that's my tip for this episode. My last thing that I want to cover is I said that I do cross stitch now. I've only completed one pattern, but I have 2 kits actually 3 kits that I own that are here sitting in the house waiting for me to be knit, for me to stitch them, not knit them. However, I did not know that cross stitching on linen is more difficult than Aida cloth. There we go. And so I can't really stitch them yet. So I went a little crazy. I found some Aida kits from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which is what my other kits are right now. Just Aida versions of some of them. And they are on their way to me. And I also have a few patterns that I bought without kits. Like they're from Satsuma Street, the Pretty Little Berlin, Pretty Little London, Pretty Little Paris. And I have a big map in my dining room. And it has pins of all the places my husband and I have been to since we've been married. And so it tracks our travels pretty much. And I want to do these cross stitches of all these cities that we've been to. I think it's a really cool thing. I think it's fun and unique and just adds to our traveling, our love for it. But they don't all come with thread. So I had to buy a little bit. And when you buy lots of thread, not lots as in the amount, a lot as in buying 100 skeins at a time is a lot. They come like this. But you can't stitch from them like this unless you want a big tangled mess. So I made the jump for organization. I had better really, really, really love cross stitching because I've got quite a few of these now. I have one already completed. I have all of these, and I have more thread coming because I've been looking at these patterns that I have. And when I'm buying these lots, I can't see what colors I'm getting. So I just keep buying more lots, hoping I'll get the colors I need. But at this point, if the next one doesn't have some of the colors, I'm just going to have one of my friends stateside go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere and buy me the DMC individual skeins and send them to me because I'm not brave enough to color substitute yet. But that's pretty much all I have for this episode. There's been a lot of changing going on in the family. We don't have any visitors for a while other than regular ones, family. But we have my husband's assistant, his lieutenant, is leaving, which means he is now a one-man shop pretty much. So his work hours are changing and it's going to be more difficult to travel and to just spend time together. So we are making a point of our weekends that we do have going somewhere, even if it's nearby, to go and see something. And so he was TDY, or he was on a business trip pretty much, temporary duty. And typically he can't bring me along and it's not a normal thing, but I got to tag along for this one. So I spent a week in Frankfurt with him and we didn't see too much of the town, but we were at the Hilton Airport Hotel there. Absolutely gorgeous. I got some shopping done and we had delicious food. And it's just nice to get out of the house. It was a good change of scenery. So that was the only real thing. I think next week we're going to do a quick trip over to Nuremberg. It's only an hour away and we're there all the time because that's where the airport is. But we haven't actually taken time to look in the town. And Nuremberg is known because it hosted the Nuremberg trials after World War II. And so I'd like to take a look at the historic district, see if I can find that building, and just so I can say I've seen it. And I want to go and look in the churches and eat some delicious food. We might go to Rotenburg Ab der Tauber the weekend after that and eat some Schneeballs, which is a Schneeball is a snowball, literal translation. But it's a pastry and it's stateside friends. It's like puppy chow on the outside in a way, but the inside has a cream filling of some sort. It could be chocolate, frosting. It can be a truffle. It can be buttercream. It can be a multitude of things. But they're delicious, and they're only sold in Rothenburg auf der Taube. So we're going to go have some Schneeballs. And it's also, I've talked about Rothenburg on the podcast before. It is the start of the Romantic Road, and part of Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2 was filmed there. When Grindelwald is stealing the wand and escaping out the window, that was filmed in Rothenburg. Tiny little scene. It's important to the plot, but it's not something that you necessarily remember. But it's there. And a lot of movies are actually filmed in Rothenburg. So we're going to go enjoy and also hit the Christmas Museum. So those are our plans for the next 2-ish weeks. And also, as y'all saw on Instagram, did dye my hair. I have mermaid hair now. Absolutely love it. But it was hot today, so it's up and out of the way. But that's all I want to talk to y'all about. It is a short episode just because I don't have as much to talk about. I've been very monogamous in my knitting lately. So hopefully next episode I will have more to show you. But until then, do what makes your heart sing. For me, that's 2 sticks and string. See ya.